Hi there, we are Sue and Mark from Art Journey and Myles, and these are our friends Brian and Linda, and of course can't forget Willow. We're back in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin right now, and we've been hanging out with these guys a long time, and we've kind of hooked up along the way a lot throughout the country. They surprised us by saying they're thinking of getting a different RV. This is their third one, and they're thinking of getting a different RV because life is changing for them. So stick with us and let's find out why all the changes. Mark, are you ready? Mark.
Oh, hi Sue. Well, I'm almost ready for my public. Let's hit it. Brian, unbelievable, once again has ended up preempting us in immediately switching gears, and that's why Brian's fifth wheel is up for sale now, and we'll put the model number of it up there if you're interested in it. Brian just ended up buying a Cherokee Wolf Pup 2023 model 18RJB-BL, that's for the black label edition. And we've only got, I think, 3 pictures that Sue shows of it. And you can see as I'm walking in the background here, there's just every single size and dimension of rig that you can imagine. People are just constantly changing, just like we talked about in this video, to try to find that perfect rig for the lifestyle that you want to achieve.
So as you can see, the whole purpose of us making the change is to be able to take our e-bikes inside so they don't get all dirty, and we have this back room and all the room to put eventually our kayak and whatever else we need. So that's why we are using the Wolf Pup toy hauler.
Live at Brian and Linda's house again, 2 years later after the last one they brought. So let me set this video up, and we're under duress here because we actually have friends that are going to barge into this party probably within 15 minutes, so we better wrap this up in 15 minutes if we can. But 2 years ago, we had a video that we put out that was entitled something to the tune of how to pick the right RV out. And these guys not only preempted Sue and I when we were first starting to figure out what we were going to get by having all sorts of different rigs. I'm talking in terms of one with motors, pull behinds, fifth wheels, you name it. In that video that you can watch, and I'll link it up in the corner, you can get up to the point where we are right now. And where we are right now is they're going to talk about when they finally bought their very specialized hybrid small toy hauler and their hauling vehicle type arrangement, and why it didn't end up suiting to them ultimately. And remember, if you watch the first video, they're on the 2-year time clock. So after 2 years, they ended up graduating into something else, and we're going to talk about what that was.
So just to recap, just real quickly, where did you guys start? What did you have?
From the beginning?
Yeah, just tell us what you got.
29-foot Class C motorhome.
Okay, number 1.
Then a 33-foot travel trailer.
Number 2. With a truck.
Truck.
You bought a different truck.
A truck. And it was an F-150 that didn't quite muster up to handling this big.
Yeah.
It's almost a destination, what they call a destination trailer. So it's a little too much.
Too big.
Yeah.
So I've got a bigger truck, 3/4 ton truck, which towed it fine, but then I realized I can tow even better with a fifth wheel. Shorten everything up and get about the same amount of room.
Yeah.
And get a better tow, which it did. And we love the fifth wheel. If I'm going to tow and camp and stuff, a fifth wheel, but obviously if they're not Class A's, you see everybody in fifth wheels.
Yeah.
And that's where
That was number 3.
video ended.
Right.
And now we're beginning this video where you...
Well, we had, it's always an issue is, what do you want to do? And so what do you do with it is what, and we keep changing what we want to do.
Yeah.
And we thought we were going to do less camping and more traveling on doing something like you guys do, but then stay with family or VRBOs and stay places and stay long term and visit and still have the car to drive around in.
Yeah.
So but we wanted to do less camping, put it that way.
But we still wanted to take our bikes and our kayak
Yeah.
and our toys.
And the electric hibachi, you got to bring that along.
Well,
you know?
somewhere in there too, you got to remember they added Willow, their little
Right.
dog,
Right.
so
Yes.
that changed traveling a bit too.
Right.
Right.
So
right.
we wanted to play more tourist vacation like things like these guys do all the time,
Mm.
but not stay in the RV per se.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Not all the
anyway.
time. So it was we thought, get a smaller toy hauler for all those toys Linda mentioned, put them all inside,
With
Yeah.
and use it. We called it our hotel on wheels, which we hate when we traveled
Yeah,
without an RV.
yeah.
Stopping in hotels, especially with Willow.
especially with
Because
the
it's
dog.
it's
yeah.
extra fees. We never liked the hotels. We're sitting in a bed eating fast food.
Mhm.
So we thought a small toy hauler, bathroom, bed, little kitchen,
Yeah.
refrigerator, and our stuff.
Yeah, good enough.
So it was great. We called it our hotel on wheels.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it worked. I mean, at first we stopped for one night. Nice. We had our own chairs, our own meals,
Yeah.
and it was great. You
Yes.
fixed meals ready to
Yep.
go out of the refrigerator, and it was great to not have to worry about a hotel.
Right.
And but then we found that the places we were stopping, Linda's very good finding nice campsites, military campsites, Army Corps of Engineers, beautiful places we all of a sudden stopped. We wish we'd stay longer, you know.
Oh, okay.
And we tried that on our trip to
Yeah.
Florida, where we saw you guys a couple of years ago, and we found ourselves really cramped in this toy hauler. It's
Okay,
just
so-
barely a bed and a.
So as the transition happened, where it was less of a hotel on wheels transporting you, and was slowly reverting back into a camper, it wasn't quite the right
Right.
setup.
It didn't have enough. But in the meantime, because now I bought it was only 18 foot, 7 foot wide. I didn't need the big truck.
Yeah.
We liked our truck, but it wasn't fun to just drive around in the truck. A lot of
Yeah.
gas, big V8, you know.
Oh yeah.
And so we bought an Expedition, which is very comfortable.
Mhm.
You know, it's got a nicer suspension. We really enjoyed the Expedition,
better
which
stereo.
matched up to the
Yeah.
better what?
Better stereo.
It just matched up, and it was very nice. And plus, you can put all that stuff inside
Yeah.
Right.
that we weren't putting outside in the pickups.
Right.
And the two, it towed very well. It all matched up very well. All the weights matched up great, and it was great. No problem. Linda was driving it. You know, we go down.
Oh, you
to
got
Florida.
to share the driver.
I
That's-
did.
That's really
Yes.
nice. That's something we don't do, and if we ever downsize, that would be a bonus.
Yeah,
Right.
but when we go out to eat, we share your food with me. So, I mean, it's not that we don't share. I'll tell you that.
You do let her drive the Honda sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You share that.
I do share that. Yeah.
So it was nice that she could drive this, and she towed it over the mountains.
I
We went
did.
to Montana.
Yeah.
I mean, we put 10,000 miles on this thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
We went down to Florida twice in that direction, southeast once, and the Montana
Yeah.
with it, but we found ourselves wanting to stay longer places, and this just wasn't comfortable. You
Had
could tell her.
it had a queen bed, but it was one of those beds where I had to climb over him to get out.
In
Yeah.
a corner.
And it had a bathroom, but it was so small, he had to leave the door open if
Oh.
he used it.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
had no sink,
it had no
Oh.
sink in the bathroom.
so we used the kitchen sink.
Yeah, so it.
So
So
what you
long-term,
guys
it wasn't
discovered,
working.
I think, is that what a lot of people discover, we did not, because we just jumped into what we have, and by some miracle,
It was
you know,
perfect
it's
for
good
you.
for us.
Yeah.
But, you know, until you try it, until you live it,
Right.
until you're walking the walk, you don't know what your compromise is when you're looking at it in the showroom, and you go, yeah, I can work with that. Well, you find out what you can work with and what you can't.
Can't.
Right.
And there's a
Exactly.
big difference between vision and reality. We
Oh,
found
yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think the big thing, and we talked about this last time too, is you got to know, how do you want to travel? How do you want to live? We went with the
Exactly.
big one because we knew it was
was
going to be full time.
Full-time,
And we wanted all those comforts. But for you guys are way more campers than we've ever been.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
again, you changed where you
Excuse
wanted to do more touristy things, and then Willow came on board.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you had many changes, and we talked about
Yeah.
this. Your life changes, your way of traveling changes. So
Correct.
now
Yeah.
you realize you do want to do some.
It is kind of funny.
camping, but
People
still
always
tourist.
call our rig a camper,
A
you know.
camper.
Yeah.
And we're tourists, you know. And we don't ever camp. The only time we camp is when we visit somebody like
When somebody else
Brian. He's
gets
making
the
the
fire.
fire. He's cooking the burgers. He's doing everything, you know.
Well, again, we had a small toy hauler, and storage was an issue outside. I'm
Yeah.
getting older, and I had this little tiny storage bin outside with one side only, not a pass through.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And inside, everything has to be secured.
Yeah.
Everything. You can't leave things just because you have a toy hauler. It was a lot of work
Ratchet
securing
straps
everything
and
all over the place.
yeah.
So we couldn't. We still want to do similar things we did with the toy hauler. Just want more storage, more comfort, and I'm resolved. I've got good covers and good bike frames to put the bikes outside again.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
every time you change rigs, you do it in secret. Just you and Linda do it, and then he springs it on us. So before Jerry gets here, like a bull in a china shop, what finally, what was the thought process that got you to where you have right now? And why don't you say what you have right now?
Yeah, they're out of their toy hauler.
Yeah, we
and
just
that
came
was
back.
a shock. We got a photo. It's like, what are they doing?
We did a full circuit down from Wisconsin down to Georgia, South Carolina, circled back around through, all the way back up the middle of the country, and we decided that it was hard. We stopped in nice places, and it was too hard for storage for me to get all this stuff out and set up. And we wish we could stay longer in some places we stopped in, because they were very nice. We were on water sites, beautiful water sites,
right on the water.
with full hookups, and this thing wasn't conducive. So we just came back and said, if I want to keep doing this, this isn't the right fit. We learned it wasn't the right fit, and we just happened to be. I watch a lot of blogs and read a lot of. I get things fed to me all the time about this. All of a sudden, this brand new Winnebago came out with this new couples trailer. They call it, like a lot of them are called. And Jayco had a similar version, and it just popped up, and I just started reading into it. Oh, this is very interesting. I'm a fan of Winnebago quality. Our very first motorhome, our first adventure here was Winnebago, and it did very well from a support from the company and the quality. And I said, I'm not going to go back to what some other companies,
Our restriction.
I really want something like a Winnebago again, or something similar.
Our restriction was we wanted to still be able to pull it with the Expedition. So we had to stay within certain parameters. This is a foot wider, and it does have one small slide out. So it's amazing how much more room that gave us inside, and a pass-through storage outside, and
big storage outside.
Larger bathroom, a lot more storage inside, and a almost king-size bed, which is like heaven.
It was one of those things. We're heading up. The dealership wasn't far from where her daughter lives. Let's look at it. Well, we looked at it.
Oh boy, let's just look.
And we just look, and then I told them about our toy hauler, and we started talking. A few days later, made an offer that they wanted to refuse, but totally took.
Well, okay, if anybody goes back and watches the first video where Brian talked about all of the different rigs he had to the lead up of that one of the things I said in there was that there's certain things that I don't like about Brian, and it's usually that he buys right and he sells right, whereas I would not be able to do that. And this was
lose.
This was one of those situations again where you bought your toy hauler rig, very good, and this one they're trying to introduce it. They want to get them out. I mean, so you did very well.
I'm sure. I'm not going to question them. Maybe they want to get them on the market.
Right.
Yeah.
The trade-in value made it more than worth me not fooling around.
Yeah.
And paying the taxes. It was just too good of a deal for us to say, let's go for it. So we did, and we've only been on one little trip and one longer trip, and we're very happy with that. I mean, I could see, even as small as it is, we're just super comfortable.
So rather than changing out every 2 years, you might like push it to like 2.5
2.5, maybe 3. So my question
depends on where we are, what we're doing.
Well, life changes.
That's
you
right.
never know. So how's it with the bikes and the kayak? Can you still get those?
Yes.
Right.
Now
They have a blow up kayak.
Yeah, so it folds up in a big knapsack type thing, and that goes can go in the trailer because it's big, wide open floor, or it can go on the back of my Expedition.
In the Expedition.
It sits in the back of the Expedition. The bikes, because the frame is lower, so it's very easy for us to get.
Easier to get.
And I found a new way to put the bikes on, which of course found it on YouTube. Made it electric bikes much easier.
YouTube is a very, very good course.
You're gonna
good resource for learning.
But I found I can get the e-bikes on much easier.
You're gonna have to show us that because people are always asking
about
how to transport their e-bikes.
Well, we're gonna put Brian in the hot seat now that we're recording this segment. He's gonna have to provide us with enough decent pictures that as we're talking, we can put them up in the corner.
We can go down to the RV.
So how can we wrap this up before the Bull in the China Shop, our good friend Jerry and Wendy show up?
Well, I have brothers all in the RV world, and they're all trying to figure out what they're doing. One of them's already had 4 as well, and he calls me all the time. What do you think? What are you doing? I just came back from Texas, picking up a Class A with my younger brother who bought I found him a very good deal on a Winnebago View, if anybody's interested. And he'd only had it on one trip, and he came back and he's selling it because he wants even more storage and a bigger rig. So he found a good deal in Texas, and I just had my experience driving 1,000 miles in the Class A.
And were you physically driving it?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, boy, here we go. Here we go.
That's why we went, so he didn't have to. So I could he'd never, he'd still be on the road if he was by himself.
Nice.
So
his reason for switching from the View to what did he get now?
A Class A Winnebago. He had a Winnebago View, and he wanted they just went out to California and back
with the View,
and he just didn't feel it was comfortable size wise. They wanted more room inside when they're sitting a long time. They went to nice RV resorts out in California. They were surrounded by Class A's. He couldn't carry a lot of his equipment with him. But they loved the quality. They loved the technology of the View, but it just didn't carry enough stuff for him.
Well, the only thing you could carry in the View is you could
take your bowl of cherries.
If you put it in a lighter bowl, you could take this.
But you don't know sometimes until you're in it and you actually experience it. So that's kind of the.
I'm a little more, in technology. He kind of looked at the View, and the View is a great vehicle, and there are a lot of them out there. But I'm not sure he looked into it deep enough to say, how am I going to use it?
Right, and that's the key to all of this.
Yeah, because we have other family members with Views that love them and do well with them. But it's, I don't know. I thought Class A was in my future, so 2 years from now, I hope my brother.
Brian's got
Well, I still think that from day one, I always thought the Class A was in my future. We just don't do what's necessary to own a Class A at this point.
Well, maybe if
we really enjoy the Expedition that tows. And if you set it up right. And the Winnebago is it's only a few inches longer than the other toy hauler, but it's a foot wider, and it's double axles. I have single axle before. So all those combination things make for a nice tow. And we're very comfortable in this.
So the brother bought the Class A. You have another brother that just switched too, were you saying?
No, I have an older brother who's looking. He just bought the Expedition Max, but Lincoln's version. So it's like my vehicle, but longer in the Lincoln. And he sold his Class C. He's had Class C, and then a Super Class C, and an Airstream.
Oh my!
He's had all of them.
So now he's
over
ready,
many years.
But he has
very different.
Now he always has to design around the 5 dogs.
So basically, your family is supporting single-handedly a large portion of the RV rec industry. All right, well, let's wrap this up. We are taking the opportunity. We're invading their privacy because they're actually going to be busy cooking burgers for us pretty soon. But we thought we would capture the excitement that everybody can have when you decide that you want to get involved and enjoy this hobby. It can be full-time endeavor like us, very small segment do that. most people do it for fun, vacationing, and convenience.
Yeah.
And these guys have really epitomized changing their rig as their needs changing.
As their needs change, yeah.
Going for gusto and grabbing life while we still have it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
One thing I want to point out is Mark and I are the oddballs. We're finding out because we have one rig.
Yeah.
One and done after 8 years. And we're finding more people you're in the more normal category where you switch out because life changes. So I want to challenge any of you guys. Let's see who switched out on rigs the most. Leave comments below. Leave comments below and let us how many motorhomes or trailers or fifth wheels you had over whatever time.
Isn't your good friend Cindy? And
Oh,
our
Cindy.
casual friend on her fourth one.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. And we're going
talking to
visit
her.
Cindy.
We're going to visit her in another couple of weeks, so maybe we'll put her in front of the camera.
Right, it's time. After what? How long? Just 1 week we were here.
Yeah.
It wasn't long enough.
No,
So
it's never long enough.
it's been a couple of years since we saw Cindy, and hopefully it will not be that long.
It will not.
I've been using and abusing Cindy by always bringing up her stuck video.
Yes, please.
Sorry.
Check it out up here.
We're using it again.
Yeah, keep watching. You have no idea what I'm up to now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, and she does make awesome banana bread.
yeah.
And it's healthy now.
It's very healthy. Yeah.
So real quickly, Cindy went from her Dutch Star. Right after that, she went to a Grand Design Reflection, which
and then what?
wasn't quite big enough.
Grand
then
Design.
she went to a
Grand Design Momentum.
yeah. Oh, then of
hauler.
course you had to get a 450 Ford truck, you know. But then when she came back here, she bought a house. She was in a house for 3 years, and then she got the itch, and she wanted Newmar quality.
So what are you
she
doing now, Cindy?
got
Well, right now I'm taking a big old trip in my Newmar Base Star.
Yay!
And it's a great rig for anybody who can't afford the big ones.
The diesel.
So if you have a divorce or something and you still want to stay with Newmar, there are things you can do to stay in quality.
Yeah. So there you go, and we're going to send that to Newmar to see if they want to use it in advertising.
There you go.
I'm up for new rigs anytime.
We're going to keep her busy cooking for us, making meatloafs and zucchini bread, she promised. But
She
we'll
loves
probably have a
it.
little
Add
extra
her
time.
onto this.
Yeah.
Double.
All right, so if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. That's the only way YouTube knows, you know what? Mark and Sue's Our Journey in Miles, they're pretty good. We're going to, recommend them
Put
to
'em out
you
there more.
and put it out there. So until we get to meet you on the road or in a campground someday, please stop in.
Place.
No, don't say that.
Okay.
Please stop in and check out the channel on most Sunday mornings for another episode of Our Journey in Miles.
See you on the road. Safe travels.
Woo!